Guys, I hope your bags are packed. Really. And some people were asking, like, no, what am I missing? A bull market. People are gonna miss out right now. It is time. And as you may have seen on the channel lately, I've been flipping really, really bullish on the altcoin market. Um, Altcoins are about to fly, and they're kind of already flying, I know, but they're really about to fly, fly, fly. So let's go over the market because I think that things are looking really good. There are a couple of confirmations that the market is now, out of the downtrend and maybe in the start of a potential uptrend already. And let's also see how far we are with the potential alt season. So there's a lot to discuss. Welcome to the Fomo Factory. Smack that like button. Yet retail is not really here. Last video didn't even get like 100 likes, so let's make it 100. So everybody that's watching right now, smack that like icon. Really would help me a lot and yourself because I will keep making content. We've been killing it for the last couple of, basically 2 years. But lately it's been going really fantastic. So I want to take you on this journey with me, man. Now, I'm about to show you some altcoins that I think are pretty cool to buy. Okay, so a lot of cool stuff to get over with. So let's start with Bitcoin, of course, because we can take a look at the altcoin market, but hey, what are altcoins without Bitcoin, right? Nothing. So Bitcoin was in this mini downtrend / sideways for 6 months since March. And what is a downtrend? A downtrend is where you make lower lows and lower highs, right? We have a high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And what do we have here? High. Okay. Now the week has to close yet, but then again, we also already made a higher high on the daily by like not much, but we did it. Definitely we did it. And the lower low is obviously already in. So Bitcoin is already looking good. And the nice thing is now that Bitcoin is going up for the last 3 weeks. If we look at the Bitcoin dominance for the last 2 weeks, at least it's been going down. What does that mean? Altcoins are up like a little more than Bitcoin. Not much, but they're up. Okay, so first I want to show you this. Couple of things why I think that the altcoin market is now really looking good. Well, first thing is, of course, if you look at this downtrend, I don't know how to draw it like perfectly, but we clearly broke it, right? So we broke the downtrend. Also, a big fat higher high for the altcoin market so far. Right now, again, we have to see how the week closes, but still, if it closes below, it at least showed like, hey, the bulls are now in control. The bears are just losing at this moment. And on the daily, yeah, we already closed above it. So that's already looking good. Now, higher low is already also in for the altcoin market. Plus, we are now above the bull market support band, which is like important in a bull market, well, in the bear market as well. Overall, if you are below it, then the market is just in a heavy downtrend. You can see it right here as well. We kind of fell down below it in June, and that drove us all the way down. And now we at least are above it. And the last time we were above it was in June, right? So that's a long time ago already. Plus, if you take, and well, this is more kind of resistance for now, but if you take the Fibonacci, you can see that we're now sitting at a 382. 382 is an important place on the Fibonacci retracement, and I think it's super important for the altcoin market to break that. If we close the week where we are right now or a little above it, then it's going to be fireworks, in my opinion. And that's going to be a real good kickoff for Q4. Just dropped a video about Q4, about the average returns. I can't say anything else. If you want me to wrap up that video, I would use 2 words. Fucking bullish. Like that's just what it is, right? The average at least. And this now shows like, hey, we're gearing up for it, right? We're gearing up for it. So let's take a look at some altcoins, but also, what about alt season? Because yes, if you take a look at, well, the wick low, altcoins are now on average up already 50%. Some altcoins from the wick low are up already way more. However, has this been an alt season? Not quite yet, actually. So it's coffee season. So let's take a look at a couple of things that we talked about before, where I said, hey, alt season, likely end of the year, beginning next year. And let's follow up on that to see how it looks right now. So the first chart that you want to take a look at when it comes to potential alt season is the Bitcoin dominance. Now, the Bitcoin dominance, for the people that are new, just shows how many, how much market share does Bitcoin take, right? So how much is Bitcoin dominating compared to the rest of this crypto space? Now, there is one thing that you can see as not so bullish for the altcoin maxis, and that's that if we take this trend line, we broke it, right? So the Bitcoin dominance did not get rejected right away right here. So we didn't went into an alt season, and for the first time ever, basically, we broke out of this trend. Well, it's not actually a trend. It's a trend by 3 times. And the third time we broke above it. But still, we have to see how that goes. However, there are signs showing that, look, if you take the Fibonacci again from the last cycle and take it from the top to the bottom, you can see that we got rejected at the 618, and that's where Altseason kicked off. And if we take that same Fibonacci tool now from the top to the bottom, you can see that we are pretty close. We're coming in at 60% for the 618. So could it be that Bitcoin dominance is actually going to get one last push to the upside and then give us an Altseason? Yeah, good. Like this chart is not showing Altseason yet, actually, right? However, time-wise, we are very close. And also, I think, chart-wise. But so far, it is not showing it yet. We are above the bull market support band as well. We broke out of this diagonal. And we're still climbing upwards right here. And this pullback has been nothing yet. However, the cool thing is, though, Bitcoin is just doing well, right? It's not that you can look at Bitcoin over the last couple of months or weeks and say, wow, it's fucking fantastic or anything. It's just doing okay. The Bitcoin dominance is doing everything in Bitcoin's favor, not in the altcoin's favor. And yet altcoins do pretty okay. So can you imagine once, not if, but once we get an altcoin season? It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be really fun. So that's the Bitcoin dominance. If we take a look at the Bitcoin dominance without stables, so no USDC, USDT, DAI, or BUSD, and then compare how much Bitcoin is dominating compared to actual altcoins, yeah, then it's now sitting at 62%, and still in a big-ass uptrend, actually. I mean, yeah, we're now in 2 weeks of redness, but hey, that's what we are, like here. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, and we really went down quite hard, yet not an alt season, right? It was just like the trend was up with an occasional pullback, and we're going higher and higher and higher. That's kind of what we're doing right now as well. So no alt season yet right there. However, a chart that does make me really bullish is others dominance. Others is everything outside of the top 10 in the top 125. And it shows how much it's dominating space. And this has been going up. Like we've drawn this channel long times ago. And you can see we bounce perfectly right here. Of course, you bounce perfectly. This thing has been intact for 7 years now, right? If you include this right here, then it's 10 years. So how obvious is it that we go down here and bounce, right? And all we need in order to get a fat fucking alt season is out of this 10 years to be accurate for 1 more year, because that means we're going to the upside. That's it, right? So hey, very positive about that. The positive thing here as well in the shorter time frame is we're now above the bull market support band. So it is actually alt season is showing like, hey, this week we can get rejected. If we get above it though and we stay there healthy, then end of this year it's gonna take off hard. Altcoins on the Bitcoin pair. Not yet, right? We are now at the bull market support band. So let's see if we can actually break through this, right? What we have seen this cycle so far is that in the bear market, yeah, we got rejected from it every single time, right? And in July 2023, give or take, we broke above it. We climbed up a little bit, but still it wasn't sustainable enough. And I think we're going to give it a really, really, really good try. And this is what we've seen before, right? If you look at 2019 as well, we got rejected, we went above it, and we really went above it. And then we got that final rejection that marked the bottom for altcoins on the Bitcoin pair. And I think that this final rejection marked the bottom for altcoins on the Bitcoin pair. Actually, if you were in Bitcoin, then this is the golden place to buy. And if you look, let's put it a little in perspective. If you look at this chart like this is the cycle. Look, if you buy it here or here, if you are in Bitcoin, you can still buy the lows on altcoins. That's just what it is, right? So you haven't missed anything. Yeah, that's just beautiful. Altseason is coming, big fat time. If you look at others on the Ethereum pair, though, they are going up right there. So it might, maybe not now, maybe it is, right? But if you feel like, hey, Ethereum isn't that, like you're supposed to feel, by the way, like Ethereum isn't that, right? And you want to trade it, might not be a bad idea to put some altcoins into Ethereum, right? DCA-wise, because it can go way higher, but we are already sitting at some good resistance as well. Because if you look at Ethereum on its Bitcoin pair, yeah, that's low, right? Ethereum has been underperforming like it does in bear markets for altcoins, right? Ethereum is the altcoin daddy, basically. And here as well, I mean, Ethereum on its Bitcoin pair went down, long after the Bitcoin bottom was in, which was somewhere around here, I think. We can overlay it, by the way, if we look at Bitcoin. Here we go. Here it is. Okay. So if you look when the Bitcoin bottom was in for that cycle, it was actually here, right? So let's remove Bitcoin to be very clear. This was the Bitcoin bottom. And from that point, Ethereum kept on going down for a year, basically. More than a year, actually, right? Now we had our Bitcoin bottom here somewhere, and Ethereum kept on going down. And so it's nothing different than any other cycle, actually. And that makes me so bullish on this whole cycle. Like again, the people that watch this channel may be sick of it, but I am trading my, look, let me tell you this. I've been in crypto very long now, and I got wrecked hard, right? And when did I get wrecked the hardest? Every time that I thought that this time is different, actually. That was the time when I got wrecked. Right? Whenever it comes to minor time frames, like, yeah, this coin is now down here, and that never happened before, so now it must be a good time to buy. Or whenever I just thought that the cycle was going to be different or whatever, every time I thought that something was going to be different, I got wrecked. Because things have never been different, right? And so far, until the very day of today, it still isn't, right? And some people have been arguing with me over that, about that for the last year, basically. But if you thought a year ago, okay, this is not different, and you traded like that, then you killed it in the last year, because so far it isn't different. And there are things I can show you about that. If you, for example, look at, shit, I have to pay. Yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, I will show you in another video. Doesn't matter. I was too broke. I thought that this time was different and I can't afford it anymore. But what I want to show you is a chart that I've showed many times before. But if you look at Bitcoin from the bottom of the cycle compared to the last two cycles, we are now at this point at this exact same place as the other two cycles. In the other two cycles, we also went up, right? And it just keeps on being the same. Therefore, don't go against the data and the charts, okay? Just go with it, because that has always worked. So yeah, the market is looking really bullish right now. And the cool thing is that, again, we have seen some good pumps in altcoins from the lows, right? If you look at AVAX, was sitting at and not this, yeah, maybe even this low. Well, fuck it. AVAX is now up 240%, right, from the actual lows. And even from this last downward trend that we're in, it's already up 70%, right? Beam, for example, and these are the high caps, right? Beam is up 78%. OXO, a coin that I mentioned a couple of times already, is up 154%, right? We have Prime. I like that one a lot. Up 150%. So as you can see, coins are actually already up 2x, right? Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but quite a lot. And then you have to remind yourself, like, because some people now feel like, oh yeah, okay, it's already up 2x. It's too late to buy. Look, if you want to try to time the bottom, keep on trying. Maybe you will get it. Probably not, right? So don't even try to. Playable Games is mooning, by the way. Holy shit. This is beautiful, guys. This is beautiful. They look, they're popping off like there and there and there. And that's the cool thing, because this is literally nothing yet. Okay, nothing. One, if you were there in 2021, you know why this is nothing, right? This is like now it's 17% here, 20% there. Like put a zero behind that, and that's what happened in 2020. It was crazy. But also, if you just look again at others on the Bitcoin pair, look where it is. It didn't do shit yet, right? Let alone once Bitcoin finally pushes through new all-time highs and really breaks it, instead of that weak attempt right here where we wicked above it and down again, and that had everybody say, oh, this time is different. Bitcoin went above its all-time high before the halving, it's not different. Like, was like not really that spectacular, this compared to this, right? So, but that will happen. That will happen. Bitcoin will go way through 100K. Easy. And even if not, fuck it. Let's say, for some weird reason, Bitcoin stays where it is for the rest of the cycle, right? Let's be fucking bearish, right? I'm going to give you a super bearish scenario right here, and that will show you why I'm so bullish, actually. A super bearish scenario is that Bitcoin will stay where it is right now for the rest of the cycle. That for some reason, it has topped out 1.5 years too early, and that it will be a stable coin from this point. Right? Not going to happen. Chances that I see that happen are 0 up to 0, give or take. But let's say that is. But let's say that altcoins on the Bitcoin pair do go up, right? Or the other's dominance just goes up. It means that altcoins are taking market share from Bitcoin. Right? But people keep on pushing money in Bitcoin, so it stays the same, but other people take it out of Bitcoin to put it into altcoins. Then we still see altcoin prices that you have never seen before, because we do take it out a $65,000 Bitcoin, right? Put that into some low cap altcoins. You have to take 0.00001% from Bitcoin to put it in a micro cap altcoin, and it can do 100x. I don't have the exact math, but it will be something like that, right? And that's of course a super bearish case scenario. So a super bearish case scenario is that altcoins will fucking moon. That's kind of my expectation, right? That's kind of my expectation. My realistic scenario is, well, my cautious but very realistic scenario is that Bitcoin will go to 120K maybe, right? And then we get an alt season. Fucking insane as well. And my bullish yet not unrealistic scenario is that Bitcoin goes to maybe 250 this cycle, right? And it sounds like, what the fuck, 250? Bro, remember, if you take a look at the lows and you take it from that to 250, that's actually a 1500% pump. That would be the lowest gain ever for Bitcoin in a cycle. And that makes sense. It's diminishing, right? I mean, the last cycle was 2000, 2100 basically. So 1500 is already quite diminishing. And again, I'm not saying that it will happen. It will really take a lot of money, but there is a lot of money. And it will be printed if there isn't. So there's no reason why it can't, right? But it's absolutely a realistic scenario, right? It's not that unrealistic, actually. Yeah, put that money into altcoins. Then you can, if you want to make a 10x with crypto in that case, you don't even have to go risky, right? You can just be like, okay, let me put it in AVAX, well, in Bitcoin, in Ethereum, maybe a little in Chainlink, in IMX, like it is ICAPS. And you will do 10x's more all over the place, easy. right? Nevertheless, a bunch of fucking dirty degens that we all want to make a little more money than that, right? So how to do that? Well, like I said, I think that OXO, right? Like, I'm not saying buy it now. On the other hand, if not now, then what are you waiting for? For one last pullback. Look, I mean, I'm not saying that we are now here, right? But I am saying that the people that were here and that were waiting for one last pullback missed out on everything. So sometimes I do feel like if you have a coin that you really like and you don't have a position yet, don't wait for it. Just DCA, just get in already a little bit, right? Can't hurt. And if it goes up, then you ride it, right? And if it goes down, then you can buy with the rest. So there's no real losing in that case. But OXO is something that I'm stacking up on my portfolio. I will buy a little more Altora. I think that Altora also hasn't really seen a pump yet. That the rest of the market is now seeing. And if the low is in for Altora, which I think, then the first target is already 2x from here, right? And that's the first short-term target. I'm not talking about new highs or anything like that, but I think that this could absolutely fly for sure. AVAX, most obvious play in my opinion. Why? Again, let me remove this. Well, what? Okay, whatever. Why is AVAX a obvious play for me? Because it's not too high risk, right? It's quite high cap already. So you have a lower chance of losing like 80% of your money than if you put it into a, whatever, insert low cap. And also because AVAX is just a really good chain, actually. It has a lot of adoption. It has great side chains. Beam came out of it. Well, Beam is ripping, actually, in this bull market so far. It has off the grid coming, right? That you can't really hate on AVAX, actually. And it could do a Solana, maybe. So I'm bullish on AVAX. It's now sitting at some good resistance, actually, if you look at, give or take, right? We have this resistance here, support here, resistance here. We're now there again. So we might get a rejection here, right? Doesn't matter what happens in the meantime. I think that this is a good long-term hold. Beam, absolutely, 100%. And I'm on some risky stuff as well, like Engine Starter, right? It looks like some kind of a double bottom, actually, right? Where we have bottom 1 in November, where everything kind of bottomed, and bottom 2 where we are right now. Hey, from this point until the cycle highs, right? It did a 7x. So this is actually something that we can expect for Engine Starter, 7x. Well, that's nice, right? 7x. Look, if I would make 7x on my overall portfolio, I'm out of fucking crypto. It's fine. I'm not putting it on Engine Starter, of course, right? 1, price impact. 2, risky shit. But hey, with risky shit comes high reward, potentially. So, yeah. There are a lot of good coins right here. I'm naming them all, but IMX is something that has been super strong and I think will heavily outperform. I bought a bag of Jewel here, and I just sold it today here. Why? I was looking at my portfolio, and I saw profit, and I was like, wow, nice. And I was looking at the coins, like, which coins did this? And I couldn't really name a coin. And that's because they all pumped a little bit, right? And then I felt like, okay, I have too much. If I have like 10 coins, then I'll way better overview, for example. Now I have way more than 10, so I have to get rid of some. Jewel was the first no-brainer for me, right? And I bought something else for it. I bought Ronin, actually. But Jewel was the first one. I feel like, and it all doesn't really matter. Like, I like Jewel. I bought it for a reason, right? But I think that timing the market is way better than the type of coins you are in, because once Bitcoin goes bananas, and once the altcoin market goes up, they will all go with it, right? So it doesn't matter if you do have Duel, but you don't have Engine Starter, or you don't have Dio, but you do have whatever, right? Like, of course, one will go up more than the other, but in a real raging bull market, you're not gonna miss out if you put it somewhere else, right? So that's fine. I don't have Link anymore. I just look at this chart and I'm like, huh? Did XRP change its ticker or anything? Like, it's going sideways only, sometimes up, but then immediately down and sideways again. Like, I don't know. Noros is one that I've been pretty vocal about. Why don't beat shit out of me, right? Don't beat me. I don't know. Also, don't beat me, but beat shit out of me. I just like the fact that it's gaming, that it's AI, and that it's fucking microcap. That's why I like Neuros, actually. And I've been trading it pretty well, so I have a free bag of it, so it doesn't really matter for me anymore. But this could be, this is the coin that either does a 50x or dies, right? So be prepared for one of those. Yeah, Polis, love them. Prime is doing fantastic right now. As you can see, as I've drawn it right here, it's actually, I think that here at the 382, that's $13.50, give or take. It's gonna have some resistance. Maybe here already, right? But if you draw Fibonacci, then you can see it pretty clearly, right? And what's so cool about this is that you can take it all the way back. There we go. And you can just see that more there comes in, right? We have this support here. We have this double support, kinda. Yeah, once we get there, it will probably be resistance, right? So I might take some Prime off the table there because my average entry is, I don't know, lower here somewhere. Just for a quick trade. Volker Forge is something that I bought it low, luckily, but I'm probably gonna sell it and put it into something else. Why? Because it's just not like, maybe I'm selling the bottom right now. It could be, but if I look at Volker Forge on its Bitcoin pair, yeah, it's like just super lagging. It's an underperformer in capital letters, right? Render is a good one. I still think that, like, yeah, we're sitting at some resistance, but Render at 6.3, like, this one has been outperforming, right? If you look at Render on this Bitcoin pair, I don't know what the fuck I've drawn here. If you look at this is higher lows, higher highs. Like, cannot be bearish on this chart. Can't. But you see some coins that looked dead picking up a little bit again. And that's good. Like Whack Me. Like, what the fuck? By the way, okay. Look, this is what I mean. If you take it from the low, or from the high to the low, then you can see that 382 comes in at some big levels. And that's where Whack Me is sitting right now. It's a little above it even. Let's see how it does right here. You can also draw it like this high, and then it makes sense, actually, by the way. I don't know. But Whack Me had a 4x pump. Jesus. Crazy. Yeah, Whack Me is killing it, man. See the Fi, of course, it's going to be See the Fly. I can already tell you that. For now, the chart, it's still a lower high. It's still a lower low, right? So, yeah, maybe you want to count this as a high and then it's high, but See the Fi has some work to do. But over the long term, I feel like, dude, I just want to buy more. It's going to kill it. Solana is doing fantastic, like always. I cannot bitch about that. Super is like really killing it, man. I like, wow. Yeah, Super was the bag. Super, Solana, like those were the bags, man. And Wilder World, I want to get more of those as well. It's not been outperforming so far, but I think it's going to do fantastic, actually. The quality of this game, that doesn't line up with the price chart, actually. So, beautiful. These are the coins that I'm currently looking at, that I currently have in my portfolio, mostly. And overall, yeah, the altcoin market, this is what I'm looking at. And Bitcoin, of course, the Bitcoin dominance. These are the charts that matter, in my opinion. So, let's make a killer out of this one. But the bull market, the real bull market, like this, if you want to call this whatever, the real bull market, it's gonna be crazy, guys. Please stick with me for a year, around a year, maybe a little longer, and then dump it all. We're gonna be fine. So like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, turn the bell notification on, check out the Patreon down below for some cool stuff actually. And just click it, you'll find out. It's cool, you're gonna like it. And that's it for today. Take care.